Good evening, and welcome to the April 22nd Town and Country Board of Aldermen meeting. I now call this meeting to order. I'm going to ask everyone to join in the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm going to ask Alderman Francisco to lead us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I would ask the city clerk to call roll for attendance.
Alderman Allen?
Here.
Alderman Francisco?
Here.
Alderman Hughes?
Here.
Alderman Kinsella?
Here.
Alderman Murphy?
Here.
Alderman Schwer?
Here.
And Alderman Wiesenhan.
Here.
I have Mayor Ream as presider, and we do have a quorum.
Thank you. Before we go on to the minutes for approval, I do want to read this proclamation relative to Alderman Francisco. And she did a lot, so this will take a couple of minutes. Whereas the Honorable Michelle Francisco was first elected to Alderman of Ward 3 in 2022. Whereas Michelle Francisco began her service to the city in 2007 as a resident commission member of the Public Arts Commission. Whereas Michelle Francisco was then appointed to serve as a resident commission member on the Parks and Trails Commission until her aldermanic election in 2022, where her time spent on the Parks and Trails Commission led to her appointment as chairman. Whereas during her time as chairman of the Parks and Trails Commission, Michelle Francisco assisted in the Drace and Longview playground replacements, trail improvements, and various other Longview farmhouse and park improvements. Whereas Michelle Francisco facilitated in the return of the art and wine event and assisted in the planning and execution of many community events. Whereas Michelle Francisco was instrumental in creation and implementation of the successful outdoor winter market, which debuted last year in 2023. Whereas Michelle Francisco was also appointed to serve as the Public Works Commission Chairman in 2023, where she oversaw the renewals of various annual contracts such as on-call maintenance, engineering, and traffic signal maintenance. Whereas also prior to her election in 2022, Michelle Francisco served and continues to serve on the Veterans and First Responders Task Force, where she assisted in the development of the tribute project to honor military, veterans, and first responders. And whereas Michelle Francisco has served in all of her various roles with a commitment to distribution of information, increased neighbor-to-neighbor feedback, and transparency. So now, therefore, be it known that I, the Charles Ream, Mayor of the City of Town and Country, do hereby extend my deepest thanks and sincere appreciation to Michelle Francisco for her years of dedicated public service to the City of Town and Country as Alderman of Ward 3, and testimony whereof I hereunto set my hand and cause to be affixed the Great Seal of the City of Town and Country on this 22nd day of April 2024. Congratulations. Also like to thank her husband Rich and their kids for sharing her time and talents with the city.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor, for your kind remarks. I have thoroughly enjoyed working with this board, you yourself, Mayor, and of course the city staff. We have some real superstars working for the city, and I appreciate all the work that you do on behalf of the residents who call Town and Country home, especially Ashley McNamara, who in many ways is the backbone of this operation, having served the city for nearly 20 years. Ask Ash is a slogan I'm thinking of printing up on bumper stickers, so thorough is her knowledge of everything Town and Country. And she tirelessly and patiently, this is misplaced here, will walk through the details of even the most confusing and mundane city code. We're truly lucky to have her in the city, and I will miss her. I feel a little bit about serving on commissions and the board of aldermen as I do about jury duty. Everyone should have to do it at least once. And I'm serious, because too many people try to get out of jury duty, but if intelligent, reasonable, and capable people avoid jury duty, then who's left to serve? And if smart, measured, thoughtful people don't engage with city government and sit on our task forces and our commissions and serve on our boards, then who will? We are only as good as the people willing to serve, and that's why I got involved 7 years ago when I sat on my first commission. Who knew then that I would be serving and end up here? Certainly not me at the time. Many of you have heard me say this before, but it bears repeating. Local government has the biggest impact on our day-to-day living, and as such, it's important for people to vote in local elections and stay engaged, because it matters, and the people who serve matter. So I thank my fellow board members for doing your civic duty and serving, and our wise and committed mayor for doing the same, and for the incoming aldermen who are willing to serve. This job is certainly more involved in showing up for meetings twice a month, as those of us sitting up here know. It can often be a thankless job, but it does have its rewards, and getting to know the fine folks who work for the city, including our fire and police officers, is certainly one of them. Engaging with neighbors and other T&C residents, especially those who serve on our commissions, is also a plus. But understanding how local government works is a big takeaway as well. Not enough people understand it and are quick to criticize it. You really don't understand as much as you think you do until you sit up here and dig into the details of it all. And I'm a better, more informed person because I have served. Like all of you, I want T&C to continue to be a great city and hold on to her roots, but also evolve, and I try to serve with that in mind. And one other thing I want to mention, this position allowed me to be an example to my kids of what it means to be a public servant. Countless times I've been in the car at school pickup while also on a call with Ashley or Bob or one of my fellow aldermen, and you are on speakerphone. And I was hashing out the details of a bill or an amendment to a bill or some other proposal, and my kids would listen in and ask questions. And this was a great way for me to explain to them how local government operates, why it matters, and yes, how slow the wheels often grind to get things done. And that's not always a bad thing, because while it can be frustrating, it also means every detail has been thought through and discussed meticulously before decisions are rendered. It's important to engage the younger generation in this process. They are our future leaders. I'm talking to you, Coco and Leo. And I'm glad that this opportunity gave me that chance and afforded my kids an up-close seat to how city government works, warts, and all. And I just want to wrap up by thanking my family, my daughter Coco, my son Leo, and especially my husband, Rich, for their not my son, for their patience and support as Alderman did her thing and served on the board these past 2 years. It will be nice having Monday night dinners with you guys again. Thank you, and I wish the board all the best in this next session. Good luck to the new alderman for stepping out.
Thank you. Very well said, Michelle. Now we need a motion and second to approve the minutes from the April 8th meeting.
Second.
Any discussion or amendment? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? A motion carried unanimously. Now I believe I will call on the city clerk to certify the election results for the record and perform the oath of office.
Board, these are the official results of the April 2nd, 2024 municipal election. For Alderman Ward 1, Barbara Ann Hughes, 166 votes. For Alderman Ward 2, 2-year term, Al Gerber, 159 votes. John Steinhubel, 192 votes. Alderman Ward 2, 1-year term, Fred Fritz Wiesenhan, 265 votes. Alderman Ward 3, John R. Harder, 164 votes. Michelle Francisco, 163 votes. Alderman Ward 4, 2-year term, David Murphy, 128 votes. And Alderman Ward 4, 1-year term, Sue Allen, 224 votes. These certified results will be attached to the minutes of tonight's meeting. And with that, I would ask Alderman-elect Steinhubel and Harder to please join the dais to be sworn in. Can I have all 6 candidates please stand and raise your right hand to be sworn in? So Alderman Hughes, Alderman Allen. You'll repeat after me. I state your name, being sworn upon oath, state that I possess all the qualifications prescribed by law for the office of Alderman, that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the state of Missouri, the provisions of all laws of the state of Missouri affecting cities and the ordinances of the city of Town and Country, and that I will faithfully demean myself in office. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I would add my congratulations and welcome aboard. Thank you. I believe now we have to take roll call again.
Yes, sir.
Please.
Alderman Allen?
Here.
Alderman Harder?
Here.
Alderman Hughes?
Here.
Alderman Kinsella?
Here.
Alderman Murphy?
Here.
Alderman Schwer?
Here.
Alderman Steinhubel?
Here.
And Alderman Weezahan.
Here.
Mary Ream is still presiding, and we have a full board and quorum.
Thank you very much. Does anyone from the public ask?
No, sir.
Thank you. We have some public hearings. First is a public hearing to review a request from President Bowen Sidorvic, owner, for approval of a conditional use permit for an accessory structure, a swimming pool located at 12843 Topping Manor Drive in the Suburban Estate zoning district. I now declare the public hearing open and would ask the city clerk to enter exhibits.
Exhibit number 1 is affidavit of publication of notice of hearing, published in the St. Louis County on April 3rd, 2024. Exhibit number 2 is typewritten notice of hearing, posted at the Municipal Center, on the city's website, sent via Notify Me, posted on the subject property, and mailed to property owners within 300 feet of subject property with a list of those owners attached. And exhibit number 3 is bill number 2418.
Thank you. I would invite the owner or representative to the podium to answer any questions. And I will ask any members of the board if they have any questions. How are you tonight?
Thank you.
Good. And are there any members of the public that wish to comment? I would now declare the public hearing closed. Thank you. A public hearing to review a request by Chad Twellman of Heartland's Building Company on behalf of Tim and Angie Hudson, owners, for approval of a conditional use permit for an accessory structure, a pavilion located at 25 Muirfield Lane in Suburban Estate zoning district. I now declare the public hearing open. I would ask the city clerk to enter exhibits.
Exhibit number 1 is affidavit of publication of notice of hearing, published in the St. Louis County on April 3rd, 2024. Exhibit number 2 is typewritten notice of hearing, posted at the Municipal Center, on the city's website, sent via Notify Me, posted on the subject property, and mailed to property owners within 300 feet of that property with a list of the property owners attached. Exhibit number 3 is bill number 2419, and exhibit number 4 is an aerial with landscaping layout that will be added to the next packet.
Thank you very much. I invite the owner or owner's rep to the podium to answer any questions. Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Chad with Heartland's Building Company. Happy to answer any questions.
Alderman Weezahan.
Thank you, Mark. I know this was discussed in planning and zoning, but can you just kind of go over the intent? It's a very large pavilion, kind of the intent that the owners have for the pavilion? I mean, or the use, is it just for personal use?
Yeah, just for personal use.
How do they get to that size?
Well, we worked through many plans as we went through this process with you guys, and we've come to agree with something that I think everyone agrees upon as far as ARB and planning and zoning and everything else. I mean, it's more about for the Hudsons to have the solar power. And they went back several times about trying to get solar, and this was the way for them to house the solar that they want.
So this will get them, so this is, they're really essentially building the pavilion just for their solar needs.
Well, that and personal use as well. Yeah, to fit their pool surface and I mean, I think it's 1.87 acres, so,
Yeah.
you know, they have the size and the ability to do such.
From being on P and Z, it was, yeah, first, exactly what I said, the solar was a big component, and obviously the person was also, it was the solar. Alderman, I'm sorry.
Just, would it have been if it was not for the needs of solar, would it have been a smaller pavilion?
I would have to refer to the Hudsons for that question. You know, we're here representing them as far as the building structure itself, but I mean, I can call it upon him if he would choose.
Yes, I just didn't know if it was expanded just to meet those primarily. For
If I would say, if I were to answer for him, I would say yes.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Chad, I was, having been at the P and Z meeting originally, I got to see this. Can you describe the lay of the land? Why is it that the neighbors can't see this structure?
Well, I mean, from the street, there's quite a drop off. If I would say it's probably 14 or 15 feet in elevation drop. And, you know, so from the street, you're only gonna see the top of the structure. And then, you know, as it lays in, the backyard is wooded. I mean, even farther out as far as in their property. So, I mean, there's quite a bit of concealment, if I would say, if that answers your question.
It does, and if I recall too, there were letters offered by the neighbors who could see it from behind as well as on the sides.
Yes, sir, and I would say that's correct.
Are there any members of the public that wish to comment? I now declare the public hearing closed.
Thank you guys for your time, and ladies, thank you.
Next is a public hearing to review a request by Tim Hudson, owner, for approval of a conditional use permit for an accessory structure, a roof-mounted solar energy system facing the street located at 25 Muirfield Lane in the suburban Estates zoning district. I now declare the public hearing open, but ask the city clerk to enter exhibits.
Exhibit number 1 is affidavit of publication of notice of hearing, published in the St. Louis County on April 3rd, 2024. Exhibit number 2 is typewritten notice of hearing, posted at the Municipal Center, on the city's website, sent via Notify Me, posted on the subject property, and mailed to property owners within 300 feet of that property, with a list of those owners attached. And exhibit number 3 is bill number 2420.
I would invite the owner or an owner's rep to the podium to answer any questions.
Hello,
Good evening.
good evening.
Can I get your name for the record?
Yeah, it's Camille Bug. I'm with Straight Up Solar.
Thank you.
And if I remember, you were at the P and Z meeting,
Yeah,
as I was, Alderman Kinsella was there. I think we were both impressed about your knowledge of that entire operation in terms of solar panels and things like that.
thank you.
Are there any members of the public that wish to comment? I now declare the public hearing closed.
Thanks.
I don't believe we have any appointments. I now would recognize the board's opportunity to provide reports if they wish. Alderman Murphy.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On Friday, April 19th, Town and Country hosted its first outdoor concert for the season. Crowd estimates were about 800 people, so it was very well attended. The event was a successful start to the 2024 program. Our next concert is going to be May 17th from 6 to 8. That's a Friday. It'll be featuring the band Rock Opera. Food and beverage will be provided by Steampunk, Embrace the Break, Center Crush, Village Cafe, and the event sponsor, one of our newer businesses in town, Mission Taco. Also, there's an American Red Cross blood drive at Longview on Friday, May 10th from 10 till 2.
Thank you, and I will say, I also thought for a slightly chilly evening, it was a wonderful turnout. And I think you've done a great job on the bands they've chosen, because there were a lot of people, but there were not people rocking out to it. I mean, I think people were having a good time.
It was a fun time.
Having a very good time. Alderman Hughes.
Thank you, Mayor. Next meeting of the Architectural Review Board is set for Monday, May the 6th at 5:30 PM here at the Municipal Center Hall in Welcome. Thank you.
Alderman Allen.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a reminder, there is a fundraising party at Mason Point this Thursday, April 25th, 2:30 to 4. The expectation is that we have anywhere from 60 to 80 residents of Mason Point who are very generously contributing. A majority of these individuals are veterans and their wives, and widows of veterans. And these individuals are contributing. They have served and stood to sacrifice for us and for the well-being of our country and our state of Missouri and town and country. And anyone who wants to come is certainly welcome to come, and my information is available. And we expect it to be a great event. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for putting that together. I believe you'll report, Mr. Phil.
Very brief, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor, members of the board. As I updated you all on Friday, just to make the public aware, we've had some concerns about traffic control during the St. Louis County Mason Road sidewalk replacement and what will be road resurfacing between Clayton and Mason Ridge. This work will be continuing, and so we pushed out some educational information to just notify drivers, plan ahead, be patient. There will be lane closures to obey the traffic control people. The chief is sending out officers as they're available, again in the AM peak, and we've pushed out some information on our website and other places. It appears it has improved, but again, it is a St. Louis County project, but we've been in communication with the county on that project. Also, I'd like to take this opportunity, unless there are questions for me, to ask Michael Zeltman, our Public Works Director, to provide some other information on other county and state operated streets in town and country.
Very good. Thank you. Michael, good evening.
Thank you, Mayor. Boards and board members. I just wanted to give you all a quick overview of street maintenance responsibilities within our city. Everyone, of course, knows that 270, 64, 141 are state maintained roads. But MoDOT also maintains interstate outer roads, South Woods Mill Road, Ladue Road, and the concrete sections of Clayton Road between Old Woods Mill Road and South Woods Mill Road. That section of road is particularly difficult. The islands are kind of crumbling, and there's often a lot of potholes, a lot of weeds growing along the islands, and I get a lot of complaints about those. MoDOT does have a customer service number. I refer their customer service number to the residents, and I'm usually the first one to call it, and I recommend that they all call it as well. St. Louis County maintains Ballas Road, Mason Road, Wideman Road, Conway, and Clayton Road west of South Woods Mill Road. So you can see Clayton Road is maintained by 3 different agencies in that area. They also have a customer service number. The street maintenance responsibilities map is shown on our website if anyone wants to take a look at it. I estimate that more than 75% of our roads street maintenance report or complaints are on county and state maintained roads. So
It's fascinating that at Clayton Woods Mill, there's 3 intersecting routes and not one of them can fix that one pothole. Which I hear about a lot. So, yeah, would there be any point in maybe you and I just going to MoDOT ourselves and just say, hey, here's some pictures, I don't know, I think they're, that and the responsiveness is not great.
You may recall, Mayor, that Alderman Holman had very good luck getting some potholes filled on the I-270 overpass, Clayton Road I-270 overpass. She did that by sending out emails to her constituents. MoDOT has admitted that the more complaints they get, the faster the work will be done.
Okay,
So,
I remember that.
in fact, they've told me that.
Yeah, okay, I will spread that word.
The area engineers also told me, just call the customer service number, don't bother me with it, so.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, great. Glad they're there to serve. Okay, thank you, Michael.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, moving on to unfinished business, bill number 24-14, sponsored by Alderman Murphy. Without objection, will the city clerk read the bill for the second time?
Bill number 2414 is an ordinance authorizing the city administrator to execute a professional services agreement with Wild Marketing and Media for services associated with event sponsorship, Longview Farmhouse marketing, and acting facility supervisor duties, and amending the 2024 budget by increasing a Parks and Stormwater Fund expenditure account and appropriating funds to cover the increase.
Thank you. I seek a motion and second to approve.
Second.
Thank you. I would invite our Parks Director, Ann Nixon, up to the podium for more information.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to give just a brief overview of this item. It's something a little bit different than we've done in the past. It includes two separate items. One is for expected and anticipated expenses that were planned in the 2024 budget for marketing and sponsorship solicitation. And that is $8,000 worth of this agreement. Then there's an unexpected expense. Our facility supervisor will be out for 4 months for military leave. And so that, the cost to fill her position for that time is $16,500. And so together, we put out an RFQ, had 2 respondents, and Wild Marketing fit what we were looking for to be able to utilize one company to fill both of these roles at a significant cost savings to the city. And I would be happy to answer any questions.
So basically, it's a net expense of $8,000. We had to cover the other position anyway.
Correct.
Okay. I will. Anyone has questions?
Well, I just have a couple. Oh, turn it on.
Hey, Alderman Harder, please.
In my long government experience. Okay, I just have a few questions regarding it. I have no problem at all with covering the military deployment thing. That's not an issue, and obviously there's money there to do it. My question is, go to Wild, essentially. This position, especially at $8,000 position, is essentially a revenue center. It's not really a cost center because they are trying to get new vendors, new events and stuff like that. But nowhere in the contract does it say anything about any projected revenue that we should be getting. You know, they get a 10% commission on new things, but wouldn't this be, even that 8,000 should be paid for with what they're generating? So wouldn't they offer some sort of projection that, hey, we're gonna bring in, or our target is to bring in $20,000 worth of new business?
We have had those discussions. However, we do not have a guarantee that those would be the funds raised. And so absolutely, I would expect a minimum of a 20% return on this investment. Hopefully far greater than that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, my only concern is, and again, this is an area I come from, sales and marketing and development and stuff. And targets are targets, they're not guarantees, I understand that. And you don't say, okay, well, we're gonna bring in $20,000 to the city, and it's gonna cost us $8,000. That's a heck of a deal. if they miss that target by half, they bring in 10, that's still a good deal. If they miss it and only bring in 5, that's not a good deal. So I just prefer to have them have some skin in the game regarding, okay, we really are going to try and get this. The stuff that they're offering, not a problem at all. And the timelines that they're showing on everything that they're going to be doing, that's good too. The other thing that kind of was curious, the office at Longview for the marketing, and that's good because the public, as they're coming, we get a lot of people at Longview walking through, which is a great thing. And for them to see, oh, this is what's coming, this event is coming, or this, that's fantastic. Is this going to be like a permanent office at Longview for them, or is this a temporary office set up for them?
It is not a permanent office, so it will be in the office where the facility supervisor is now currently in the house. We have it set up with an extra workstation there.
And then the other thing I noticed was the $2,400 monthly retainer. Of course, that comes out to $19,200 for 8 months, which is under what we're going to be approving. So obviously, it covers that increase. Okay, those were my main concerns, that that there was no projected revenue that we're looking at. It's just some sort of target. That's good for me. Oh, turn me off?
Alderman Allen.
He turned you off.
Vote.
Did you have questions?
Yes, I did.
Fire away.
Okay, I thought I turned on. Yes, so 2 or 3 years ago, we did have a number of sponsorships, correct? Can you tell us about, was it maybe not last year, the year before, the total of those sponsorships that we had?
Yes. So if you look at 2022, our total for the year of sponsorships was 32,000. And in 2023, it was 25,500.
So we believe that the potential and the availability, just the ability to get those sponsorships it's there. We have that in this city.
It is.
Existing. We just maybe haven't consistently been able to get them, but this project would allow us to move forward and to hopefully set up more of an ongoing way of recouping those monies ongoing forever.
Correct.
So in essence, that's a pretty good return on investment, hopefully.
Expected, yes.
I would be surprised if we don't, with this addition of resources, at least generate 50,000, if not more. Alderman Kinsella.
Thank you, Mayor. And I understand that if we lose Katie for, is it 6 months?
4.
It's a 4-month window. And what do we estimate the temp could cost? If you just hire a temporary employee.
That's
That's the
16,500.
16, okay. And so for that, you'd likely get someone who answers the phone. I guess
Right.
they would be a committed career strategist or something in that vein, right? So the question then is whether or not we hire a marketing organization to take the place of a temporary person who would be of questionable ambition, let's put it that way. And would we pay extra then for them improving the website, for example? So if they thought that the website wasn't good enough at promoting the various features that we have at the parks, would they then have the opportunity to correct that, and would we have to pay additional for having done that?
You're saying if we had a temp Just-
I'm saying, while marketing gets in and says, you should do this, you should do that, are we gonna then incur further expense then?
So the retainer includes 60 hours per month. And you'll notice, so the 60 hours per month is the $2,400 retainer, monthly retainer. And that totals $19,200. And so the difference between the approved amount are expected additional hours. That's 15 hours a week, and Katie obviously currently is working 40 hours a week. So I anticipate that especially during the busy season of summer, we'll have an extra day per week that will be needed. During that time, the benefit of having the marketing firm filling both roles is that when there is downtime between renting facilities, the Longview House or pavilions, or answering phone calls, you can be working on the marketing piece at the same time.
Okay, all right, I see additional benefit coming from that. Okay, thank you.
Alderman Murphy.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Going through this proposal, I just want to kind of tick down the deliverables that I know. This marketing room in Longview to help drive some sponsorship activities there. My numbers on just Longview for farmhouse rentals 2022, we had $15,896 generated in sponsorship, or rental rather, and $19,000 in revenues in 2023. For the pavilion, $63.86 and $51.25. So rising on the house, a little bit dropping on the pavilion at Longview that may this year be impacted with the construction going on as well. But definitely a good trend and something we can maximize on the house itself. So promoting Longview, the social media platform pages, an ad campaign to market the facility, logo, town and country merchandise that we can sell at some events, get some visibility and some pride of the community up there. Certainly building out the event features and benefits to attract sponsors, kind of a sponsor's scorecard in terms of levels and activities. Sales presentations to attract new sponsors, email marketing program and platform, upgrades to the website, and a prospect list called from businesses in the city. Roughly how many businesses do we think we have in the city based on licenses and all that?
It is a range, but approximately 1,000.
And then for all these programs and efforts, is your intent to kind of give regular updates to the Board of Aldermen in terms of how we're progressing against these and hitting sponsorship numbers?
Yes, so I know all of you read my monthly update that I send you. And so in that update, there will be a section dedicated to this agreement. So you'll see a monthly update of where we are in progress for the deliverables.
And does Wild Marketing have some background and history with Town and Country?
Yes, so Tammy Wildman is the owner of Wild Marketing, and she's currently the leader of the Town and Country Frontenac Chamber of Commerce. And so she's been working with both cities' businesses for many, many years, 15 plus years. So she has pretty deep roots in the area with our business community.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Alderman Stein, you will.
I just had to talk here at my first meeting. Hi, nice to see you. Hey, I just had a quick question. Do you continue to have, who has oversight over the appropriateness of the sponsorship and or rentee of the Longview Farmhouse? Or like, do we vet them for appropriate party, appropriate, like we're not having a bachelorette parties team. We're not having a bachelor party at the Longview House or anything. Like who's vetting that?
We haven't had any request for a bachelor or bachelorette party. It's not a great venue for either of those.
Not at all. That's what I'm saying, but how do we determine the appropriateness of what's going on there?
Really, our rules are really conducive to the park and public setting that we have. So for example, we don't allow any amplified music outdoors, which limits a certain portion of parties. We don't allow people to put up commercial tents in the park.
Okay, so the rules in themselves should be limiting, and then also appropriateness of sponsorships, not that all 1,000 of the wonderful businesses that call their own town and country. We appreciate them all, but some more appropriate for certain events than others. Like I'm just saying, maybe when Lot McDonald's sponsor the run, or you know what I'm saying? Like, do you get to vet that still in this contract?
Certainly in this contract, but the city could
overrule
overrule any
okay.
sponsorship, yes.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you, man.
And egg McMuffin is relatively healthy.
You know, I was trying to think about hot dog station. Okay, yes, thank you.
Alderman Louisiana.
Thank you. I just had two quick questions. On the contract, the base service cost is $2,400. Is there any expected additional costs that you're prepared for or that has been discussed?
Yes, so one of those are the additional days during the summertime. So I do anticipate that we could have an additional 8 hours per week. And that's billed at $40 per hour. Some of the other services that are offered include graphic design, social media specialist, administrative assistance. I don't foresee those, maybe the social media piece possibly. And then also Wild Marketing has wholesale ordering for signs and banners that we can take advantage of. So I do think we will take advantage of that. Just after seeing their pricing compared to what we typically pay, it would be advantageous to the city to do that.
But we get the signs and banners, it's already an expense.
Right, yes, yes.
And then the other question is, Katie's out for 4 months. I know this goes through the end of the year. Will we continue the monthly $2,400 after Katie returns?
That's a good question. So this contract would run through 2024, so through December. The hours of fulfilling her role will only be while she is gone. And then Wild would focus specifically on marketing and sponsorships after that time.
So I'm just wondering, once Katie's back, would there be a reduction in hours for Wild Marketing that would balance out the additional in the summer?
Yes, yes. I would expect that we wouldn't have any additional hours to the retainer when Katie is back.
Would they balance that out to where there wouldn't be the additional cost in the summer if we needed the additional 8 hours or something?
I doubt it. I think that 15 hours a week is pretty reasonable, 2 days a week. If it is less than that, I'm hoping that we get a little more during the summer, even more than the 8 hours when it's needed. Because at the end of the year, as you said, we get into holiday season, we may have some fewer hour weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if that would balance out to where we wouldn't have that additional cost in the summer if we use them less in the the fall, winter months, while Katie's back. Is there a possibility to balance that out?
Possibility. If we can, we will.
Okay.
Thank you. And that's the city clerk for a roll call vote.
Alderman Murphy?
Aye.
Alderman Allen?
Aye.
Alderman Hughes?
Aye.
Alderman Weezahan?
Aye.
Alderman Kinsella?
Aye.
Alderman Schwer?
Aye.
Alderman Steinhubel?
Aye.
And Alderman Harder.
Last but not least. Aye.
The bill passes unanimously and becomes ordinance number 4622.
Thank you. Moving on to new business, bill number 24-15, sponsorship, perhaps the board as a whole. Without objection, would the city clerk read the bill for the first time?
Bill number 2415 is an ordinance accepting the bid of Next Level Construction for the 2024 concrete slab replacement project and authorizing an agreement for same.
Bill number 24-15 is continued to the meeting of Monday, May 13, 2024 for the second reading and consideration. Next, bill number 24-16, seeks sponsors for the bill, perhaps the board as a whole, and without objection, would the city clerk read the bill for the first time?
Bill number 2416 is an ordinance accepting the bid and authorizing an agreement with Sweeten's Sealing Services for the 2024 crack sealing program.
Bill number 24-16 is continued to the meeting of Monday, May 13, 2024 for the second reading and consideration. Next, bill number 24-17, sponsored by the board as a whole, also without objection, will the city clerk read the bill for the first time?
Bill number 2417 is an ordinance accepting the bid of America's Parking Remarking for the 2024 pavement striping program and authorizing an agreement for same.
Thank you. Bill number 24-17. This continues to the meeting of Monday, May 13, 2024 for the second reading and consideration. Next, bill number 24-18, perhaps sponsored by Alderman Hughes and Schwer. Without objection, will the city clerk read the bill for the first time?
Bill number 2418 is an ordinance approving a conditional use and authorizing a conditional use permit for an accessory structure, a swimming pool located at 12843 Topping Manor Drive in the city of Town and Country.
Thank you. Bill number 24-18 is continued to the meeting of Monday, May 13, 2024 for the second reading and consideration. Next is bill 24-19, perhaps sponsored by Aldermen Allen and Murphy. Without objection, will the city clerk read the bill for the first time?
Bill number 2419 is an ordinance approving a conditional use and authorizing a conditional use permit for an accessory structure, a pavilion located at 25 Muirfield Lane in the city of Town and Country.
Thank you. Bill number 24-19 is continued to the meeting of Monday, May 13, 2024 for the second reading and consideration. Next, bill number 24-20, also sponsored by Alderman Allen and Murphy. Without objection, will the city clerk read the bill for the first time?
Bill number 2420 is an ordinance approving a conditional use and authorizing a conditional use permit for an accessory structure, a roof-mounted solar energy system facing a street located at 25 Muirfield Lane in the city of Town and Country.
Bill number 24-20 is continued to the meeting of Monday, May 13, 2024 for the second reading and consideration. The warrant list is in the amount of $323,217.47. I seek a motion and second to approve.
So,
Any discussion or amendment? Alderman Allen.
thank you, Mayor. I would just like clarification for our two new board members that the warrant list covers things that have been done already, right? It's payment for actions. And so specifically, I have a couple questions on the landscape design, and this is for Longview Playground. What, within the payment schedule, is this like a first payment down, that's the first of,
This is the first payment on the contract.
the first of how many?
I'm not sure what the total is, and they're not equal payments because they're based on the scope of work.
Okay. All right, so
This one
is-
includes the playground equipment.
I'm sorry, what?
This one includes the playground equipment.
Okay, all right, thank you. And then, Mr. Sheldon, for the e-cycle, and so we had two items. One was the mailing postcard and the paper shredder and the happening. That was covered by grant from the county. Were both the mailing and the event covered in the grant?
They were covered in the grant, as well as staffing expenses will also be reimbursed through the
Were covered.
grant.
Our staffing
Correct.
was part of that grant. What was the total for that grant?
The total awarded was a little over 12,000. We only ended up using about 7.
Thank you.
Any other discussion or amendment? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Carries unanimously. The only other comment I have is to, again, to welcome our two new board members. I think there were points that Alderman Francisco made about it's a commitment of time and effort, and it's sometimes frustration, and sometimes edification. But thank you, and thank you for having to have you on board. I'll open up the other aldermen if they have any other topics they wish to bring up. If not, I seek a motion to close the meeting pursuant to section 610.021, revised statutes of Missouri, to discuss legal actions and attorney-client privilege communications. Is there a second? Any discussion?
Just for the record, I've got Alderman Kinsella as the first and then Alderman Weezahan as the second. Is that correct? Second? Okay, sorry, go ahead.
That's fine. And I would ask you for a roll call vote, please.
Alderman Allen?
Aye.
Alderman Harder?
Aye.
Alderman Hughes?
Aye.
Alderman Kinsella?
Aye.
Alderman Murphy?
Aye.
Alderman Schwer?
Aye.
Alderman Steinhagel?
Aye.
And Alderman Weezahan?
Aye.
It carries unanimously, and for the record, the board will now return to open session. We're adjourned.